thank all of you for being here today and welcome you to our Ag Science Center. And this is a red letter day for North Carolina. The number of people that are here today, I think is reflective of this issue is a statewide issue. It's not just, a Raleigh issue or a Greensboro issue, but it's every county in North Carolina is seeing this tremendous growth of population that is moving in, businesses, and of course that's taking up farm and forest land in North Carolina, and it's time for North Carolina to be visionary and not reactionary. Evan mentioned that this has been a priority of mine since I came into office, and there's a reason for that. My farm is in the shadow of Greensboro, and I have seen farm after farm after farm gobbled up by residential development, business development. And in fact, the two largest tracts of land that we had in Guilford County, both of them over 1,000 acres, are now housing development, so we lost that forever. And I've talked about the development in this I-85-40 corridor, and I've been riding 40 since I went to college at NC State. And Guilford, Alamance, and Orange counties used to be covered up with small dairy farms, tobacco farms, grain farms. And so this morning I decided I was going to count all the farm fields that I could see between where we got on the highway at Rock Creek Dairy Road and here today. Do you know how many farm fields I saw?
3.
2. One of them was questionable. They did have some rolls of hay on it, but the other looked like it could have been a small wheat field or barley field. Not one speck of livestock did I see coming down here. And I noticed that all over the state with the major highways and developments, it's going away that fast. Now, it's not like we haven't been talking about farmland preservation and talking about it and talking about it, and we have been somewhat successful. And I've got to thank Evan and his staff, but we protected 42,000 acres with permanent easements in North Carolina. Some of that has protected our military bases. So there's so many things that farmland preservation does and preserving these farms does. It ought to be a no-brainer. It really ought to be a no-brainer. But it's not, and it is the influx of population. Now, I've got to get on somebody. I kept my mouth shut about North Carolina being the best place in the nation to live for a long, long time. Some of you spilled the beans. There's evidence that it happened. So while we're proud that we are the best place to live and do business, with that comes a lot of changes, and I think you see the changing state that North Carolina is in, and its infrastructure, water, roads, electricity, certainly all of these are issues the state is going to have to address, but it's not farms that are causing that. What we do is we produce the food supply. It's a place where water percolates into the soil and recharges our water. It's about the growing crops in the forest and the greenery, creating oxygen for us to breathe. The three things that we have to sustain human life: food, water, and air. That's farm. Now you throw in green space, you throw in wildlife habitat, and it's just plain pretty. So why wouldn't we protect this investment that so many people over time have made in the state? I take pride in North Carolina being first. I want to see our agriculture number one, and which it is. I want to see us number one in open space. I want to see us be number one in business. But I went to looking at statistics, and I was disappointed. While we have protected this 42,000 acres of open space, I went to see in just where we rank nationally in protecting farmland. We wasn't number one, and we wasn't number two. In fact, I didn't even see us on the list for a long, long ways. So we haven't stepped up to the plate as a state. We have got to do it, and we've got to do it now. Now, we do rank number 2 in the probability of the disappearance of farmland between now and 2040. Now, that is not one I'm proud of. So I definitely don't want to be number 1, but being number 2 is shameful. When you look at the number of recorded easements, we fall behind states like Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia, and more. Colorado has more than 878,000 acres under easement. Pennsylvania is right on up there, 646,000. Ohio has protected more than 109,000 acres. So just one segment of the things that are changing North Carolina, whether it's solar development, business development, residential development, all of those have taken more of our farmland than we have protected. So it's time to step up to the plate and do it right now. It's not like our landowners aren't interested in doing it. We look at the number of applications we get for how many acres of farmland that they're willing to do, and the amount of money that we need to be able to do the job. And the most recent year, we saw $59 million in requests. We had $3.1 million to be able to do it. Now, while our legislature has not funded the Farmland Preservation Program, I've got to say they have supported agriculture with disaster programs, policy that we need, but this is the most important part of what they can do for the future of the state of North Carolina and our agricultural business. So we've got the people out there interested, so it's a function of money. And unfortunately, this is kind of a dog chasing the tail syndrome. As land values go up because of development, the more it costs to protect farm because of the value of the land. So we lost even the level playing field because of the development pressure and land going up. So we're going to appeal today to our lawmakers to put more money into farmland preservation. And as you meet with your legislative representatives, please tell them that this is about the future of the state of North Carolina. We need $25 million at least recurring in funding to do a halfway decent job. And if the state puts in this kind of money, then we certainly are going to have other partners that are going to help multiply the money. We have federal partners that do come in, and especially with the military easements that we're using, so we can multiply that money. So 25 is a start, but even looking at what's going to happen in the future, land prices are not going to level off, and they're not going to stop. So it's going to be an increasing request as time goes on. We currently only have $5 million in recurring money that is put into the trust fund, and there are many other trust funds in North Carolina that get much more money than that. So it's a matter of priorities. Is farming, is agriculture, is open space, is clean water, is clean air a priority? You better believe it is. And we have got to convince them today that we've got to take this on. We also need $11 million in non-recurring funds to be able to match federal dollars that are already laying there, but we do have to put a state match in to be able to access those dollars. And most of these are going to be, once again, protecting our military bases, and agricultural land and the military is a perfect fit. No tall towers and lights and signs, just farming going on, and it even provides a place, farms provide a place that the military used to train in the off season, so that is a perfect fit. But you also would like to have $1 million to invest in our enhanced voluntary agricultural district program, and this helps support landowners who want to protect their farms without a permanent easement. So there are all kinds of things that we can do, but it does take dollars. Also, a big incentive for farmland preservation is to enhance the conservation tax credit. We've been successful in the last few years of getting this reinstated, but it needs to be enhanced to make it even more effective than it is now. Every day, a landowner is approached about developing their farm. I'm one of them. My farm is, it's just a daily thing. I get an offer from all across the country to buy my farm and development, and no. I hope when I retire from being commissioner to put my farm in a conservation easement. My two sons have already agreed to it. My wife is agreeable to it, so it's a conflict of interest right now for me to do it, but I do plan to put my farm into a conservation easement. I just cannot stand the thought of all the blood, sweat, and tears that Sharon and I and my sons have put into that farm, to it being in houses or a business. So we're going to use the programs ourselves. Today is the day, I hope in the future, that people will look back and say, wow, look what happened. North Carolina became visionary this day instead of reactionary. There's not much you can do when a piece of land is covered up with concrete to bring it back to life as a farm. So you've got to be visionary enough to know we've got to have smart growth, but we've got to preserve the natural resources that we have in North Carolina. And if you look at what we can do here in this state, we can grow just about anything. From the mountains to the coast, we are one of the most diverse agricultural states in the nation. We can't afford to lose that. We're feeding not only North Carolinians, we're feeding the nation and we're feeding the world. That's important. All of us in agriculture take great pride in doing that, and by doing that, we are giving stability to the United States, and it is a big deal. We have hosted countries from all over the world that don't have a food system like we do, and even their highest level elected official, either they or somebody in their family has to farm every day to feed themselves. So we don't know how good we've got it, and we won't know until we lose it. I thought the pandemic would have taught us all a lesson. Grocery shelves weren't full. Price of food went way up, but as soon as things kind of leveled off, people forgot again. But now we have high-priced food. The price of food is inflationary today. So why would you take part of the supply away in a time when things are not so rosy to begin with? And I can't thank Evan and their team for the hard work they put in planning today and doing the work that they do. And I know we have representatives from Farm Bureau, our county farm bureaus, the Association of Soil and Water Conservation Districts, our local soil and water conservation district, the Land Trust for Tomorrow. Many of our land trusts and partners are here. Together, we can make this happen. Together, this can be that day that changes the complexion of the state of North Carolina for the future. So I can't thank you enough. Put all the passion that you have in your heart into talking to our legislators today, and I really believe that we will be successful. And this is for our kids, for our grandkids, our great-grandkids. So today's the day, folks, and I can't say enough thanks, and please go and do what you're gonna do downtown. Evan and his staff will be around to help you if you have any problems, and be proud of the state of North Carolina. That's the main thing, and be proud of what this future holds for us. We're the people that are gonna make it happen, so I thank you so much. So this time, I'm gonna turn it back over to Evan.